Hello everybody, welcome to another RxM Cloud Native Short Take. I'm Christian Lacsina, and today I will be short taking some tips and tricks that will help you speed up your workflow using kubectl. Kubectl is a command line interface, CLI, used to interact with Kubernetes clusters. It provides a variety of commands, subcommands, and options that allow users to make requests of their target Kubernetes cluster without needing to handle headers, provide API URLs, or convert their YAML to JSON. kubectl does that for us. Let's start with autocompletion. Autocompletion enables tab completion. It allows me to press tab as I formulate a kubectl command, which fills in the next possible result or suggests them. You set this up by ensuring you have bash completion installed on your machine, and you can check this by running the following command in your terminal. Do type init completion. And it looks like I don't have that installed, so I will need to use my package manager to install bash completion and then source it so that it's enabled inside my shell session. So I'll do that real quick right now. And while this is downloading, I'll go ahead and grab the command that I need in order to enable bash completion on my shell session here. That's going to be done in the Kubernetes documentation, and I'll grab this right here, source, user share, bash completion, copy that over, and I'll go ahead and paste that in my terminal here. And now if I rerun that earlier command, we can see that I've got bash completion enabled. So now that I've confirmed that auto completion is enabled, I can then use the following command, source kubectl completion bash. And from here, I can use tab to fill in things like resource types or names. So if I do something like kubectl -n kubesystem, I can use tab to help complete my query and let it figure out what I want to take a look at. So if I wanted to get something like pods, I can type in P or PO, and it will complete that for me. So it's very useful if I'm working in an environment with very complex naming schemes, which is something that can happen with Kubernetes if you're using it in a production environment. Next, let's talk about labeling and the L switch. Labels are key value metadata that can be assigned to any Kubernetes API resource. You can assign labels to resources at creation or afterward using kubectl label followed by your key value that you want to assign. You can view labels by providing the -- show -labels option with kubectl get. I can also add labels with kubectl label, as I mentioned earlier. So let's add the label key = value to the pod mypod. And now my pod has the label key = value. Keep in mind that this only affects the target resource. Any child resources that the resource may have, like replica sets or pods managed by a deployment, will not inherit a label added with kubectl label. Once you have your labels, you can use them to find all types of resources with that label with kubectl's -l, short for -- selector, option. Let's look at pods, deployments, and replica sets with the label app = web server. We'll do kubectl get deployments, replica sets, and pods with the label app = web server. And I can easily see what's associated with this label. The simpler the labels you provide, the faster your workflows can be. And also, the -l switch is available for things like logs, which will allow you to see the logs for all associated pods with that label. Next up, let's talk about aliases. Shell aliases have helped CLI users shorten commands for a very long time. Chances are the shell that you're using already has a command like alias to establish a shortcut. A popular shortcut I see is either K or kube. Whichever you choose, your alias is easily established with alias K = kubectl. So let's go ahead and do that in my cluster. we'll do alias k equals kubectl. And that's going to allow me to use k get pods to actually view pods in my cluster with fewer keystrokes. Aliases can be used in conjunction with autocompletion, though you do need to have a separate command for it. In the Kubernetes documentation, we have the cheat sheet, which actually shows us the additional command that we need to add. Here I'll use complete -o default -f, move that into my cluster, and now I can use k get po. That's going to do the autocompletion, and I can do my pod with autocompletion in conjunction with my alias. kubectl plugins are separate modules that you will add to kubectl, which will provide additional functionality in the form of new options or commands for kubectl. One great example of a kubectl plugin is kubectl convert. kubectl convert allows you to take an outdated pod YAML, or any kind of YAML really, like this one right here, which is describing a deployment under the very old and long gone extensions API. This API was removed sometime around Kubernetes 1.16 or 1.17, and it used to house things like deployments, ingresses, and the like before they were all moved into their own SIGs. So what kubectl convert will do to this YAML is it will take this value and then update it into something that is recognized by newer or more modern versions of Kubernetes. In my case, on Kubernetes 1.26, it has to be apps. It's really great for dealing with those API deprecations that can occur between new versions of Kubernetes. So in order to use kubectl convert, I do need to install it. I'll defer to the instructions on the Kubernetes documentation here. So first off, I will go ahead and download the package. And then once the package has been downloaded, I'll go ahead and install it. And now that it's installed, I can use kubectl convert as a subcommand for my kubectl instance. This was not the case before I installed it. So now what I can do with kubectl convert is take that deployment YAML from earlier and run it through kubectl, and we can see that, among other things, it has updated the API version to the more modern apps v1, which replaced the extensions API all those versions ago. I can even pipe that command into kubectl apply and to do a conversion and then a deployment if I so desired. You can create your own customized courses with this and many other Kubernetes-related modules using the custom course builder on the RxM website, rxm.com. Once you get to the website, go under Training and select Custom Course Builder. And once you're in the Custom Course Builder, scroll down and find the Kubernetes-related module of your choice and drag it over to your custom course. And that's RxM's short take on some tips and tricks used to speed up kubectl-driven workflows.